Am I the asshole for keeping everything I found in my late uncle's storage unit after my cousins, who hadn't spoken to him in a decade, demanded half of everything? My grandfather kept his finances completely private throughout his life. When he passed, the will distributed the house, savings, and investment portfolio to my uncle, who had managed his day-to-day affairs for 8 years. At the reading, my uncle made a small joke when I received my share, a single key and an address 40 minutes out of town. My Uncle Ray was the family member everyone had complicated feelings about. He was unconventional, independent to the point of isolation, and had burned most of his family bridges over the years through a combination of stubbornness and a refusal to pretend he liked people he didn't like. A lot of people didn't understand him. I did, or tried to. I was the only one who stayed in touch. I called him every 2 or 3 weeks. I drove 4 hours to visit him twice a year. When he got sick, I was the one who managed his medical appointments, helped him with paperwork, and sat with him in the hospital during the weeks that mattered. His children, my cousins, had not spoken to him in over 10 years. His siblings, including my parent, were politely distant at best. When Ray died, he left no formal will. His estate was small: a truck, a bank account with enough to cover his debts and funeral expenses, and a storage unit he had rented for years. The unit's contents were unknown. As his closest living relative who had maintained an actual relationship with him, I was the one who received the call from the facility and made the arrangements. I went to the unit alone with a rented truck and an open mind. I spent an entire day going through it. What I found was not what I expected. Ray had been collecting, methodically, quietly, for years. First editions, vintage maps, a collection of signed photography prints from artists I had to look up to understand their value. Tools and equipment in perfect condition, and in a locked box I found with a key in an envelope labeled with my name, documentation I hadn't known existed. Follow for part 2.